Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Bourbon Over Baseball with your host Bob and co-host Peter.
Long time no talk, Bob.
Yes, people have probably been eagerly waiting. I at least hope for us to come back, but life gets in the way. Peter's been very busy with work, and I've been busy with family. But we're back now, and we had a little break from the 2018 making of the cards. Matt from the blog is putting together a 10 to 12 team draft league where he plays the cards, and we did a draft. So Peter, why don't you break down sort of what happens while I'm pouring myself a glass of whiskey here?
Yeah, so we drafted for 10 teams, and then two more were added from I guess they were expansion teams that were able to jump in with the players left over. But exclusively using the 2018 set, we had a full-on snake draft, 5,000 point, so your standard league, 20-man rosters, required four starters, four relievers, obviously one of each position player, and then you can fill in the other three players as you see fit. And so both Bob and I own a team in the league. I'm the Wisconsin Wolves, and I drafted dead last. And Bob had the number 2 overall pick
Yes,
with his Cleveland Titans.
that's right. And this also was a good feeler for me and Peter, who will have a 12 to 14 man draft coming up. So I actually felt like this was the best way to really get a sense of what people were drafting and how our preseason rankings were working out. But man, that was a fun draft. He did everything online, and it went pretty smoothly. People were drafting well and writing comments in like good picks, and everyone was having a good time drafting. Peter actually helped me out because, as people know, I'm kind of crazy in my life right now with the kids, and Peter knew a lot of my pre-ranking draft picks, so he was helping. But let's just say really quickly, the first overall pick went to Jacob deGrom, which I was kind of surprised with. But I understand. Great pitcher, super valuable, which left me with my best pick, which I liked, is Mike Trout.
Yeah, and I think you got the better end of the deal. Obviously, DeGrom is the ace of the entire set, but there's a lot of good starting pitching, and I think that there's less amazing hitters like Trout, and in Trout, you get a guy who plays every game instead of once every 4.
Yep.
I love that value. So I think you got a steal with the number 2 pick, and I love it.
I was pumped. When I saw that DeGrom got taken first, I was really excited to grab Trout. I assumed that when I had second pick, I was getting Mookie, which I'd still have been happy with. But I actually liked your position in the draft, drafting 10. Again, people, we had 10 at the beginning that drafted and 12 supplemental drafted afterwards. So Peter drafted 10, 11, and then what, 30, right? 30 and 31. So break down. Let's see. I'm going to just go real quickly. Who did you first pick?
Yeah, so my number 1 pick was JD Martinez, who I believe Bob and I, because we'd been doing pre-draft rankings together, and he was number 4.
Yeah,
I think in our personal ranking, because
10-17, right? 10.
Yeah. So there's only 2 pure on base 10 home run at 17 guys in the set, JD Martinez and Max Muncy, and I knew that pennant run Bryce Harper was also an on base 10 homer at 17. So I picked Bryce Harper immediately after JD Martinez in order to snag 2 of them. So I've got 2 out of 3 expensive first picks, and it was a tough deviation for me because I think one of the biggest things to keep in mind whenever you're doing a draft is know the league you're playing in, know sort of your control of the team, etc. I know Matt from the blog is going to be simulating all these games, and I know Matt is it's very important to have great starting pitching just in sort of the way his simulations go. He rides the starters and takes really pristine care of bullpens so that no one's is going to be destroyed. And so I was really planning on going Trevor Bauer, Justin Verlander, 1-2 off the start at 10-11, which I actually still could have done.
Yes,
but there was a huge run on starting pitchers in the first round. I believe
DeGrom, Kluber, Schnell, Sale, Kershaw, which I didn't think Kershaw or Sale would go early. I knew Snell and Kluber were good, but
I didn't think Kluber should not have gone before Snell, Sale, or Kershaw.
Or Bauer.
Or especially Bauer. Bauer is maybe the best pitcher in the entire draft. I think before Verlander, who also doesn't give up doubles, as a control 5.
And I think Bauer pitched a complete game like shutout for me or something stupid with 16 Ks in my first appearance. That then my other pitchers didn't do so well.
Well, yeah, like I said, starting pitching dominates in these
Yes.
leagues, and I could have still stuck to my guns very easily, but because there were so many pitchers taken ahead, I decided to completely shift
Mm-hmm.
because of the value of the 2 on base 10 homer at 17 guys, and I snagged JD and Bryce, which completely threw off my drafting strategy. But I'm really satisfied with my team as a whole.
And that's what's so fun about this drafting and why we needed to do it is because you might have a strategy go into it, but you got to adapt on the fly.
Yeah, and like it was one of those things where the value was too good for me to
Yep.
pass up. Although then when it came back around to me, I went for cheaper options that I thought were great value. So I picked my leadoff man, Jeff McNeil.
Oh yeah, which I think was an amazing pick.
I love him. On base 9, on at 3, speed A 22, 260 points. Absolute gem. And I got Cody Bellinger, who I think he's my number 6 hitter right now. Still going to be really, really valuable for me with the defense he provides, since that's what essentially in a 5,000 point league, you just have to come to terms that your team is going to have a weakness.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way to be great everywhere with that point cap. So you have to pick and choose what you want to punt on. I'm the only one who punted on defense.
Yeah.
So it's going to be an experiment. Maybe it'll come back to bite me. But I'll be honest, like, very rarely do double plays opportunities really come into play. Like, to me, it was simple. Like, oh, do I want a better chance at the 1 or 2 double play opportunities, or the 1 or 2 plays at the plate, or to be better in the like 36 at bats that I'm going to have over the course of this game?
Yeah, that's a good breakdown. I mean, what I realized was, and we had talked about before how good Jeff McNeil was during the Mets podcast, but I sort of undervalued the thought of slow salary players, and as the draft was happening, you're drafting 500-point players like bam bam bam, and all of a sudden you're like, I need to find like a really good 200-point player, or I'm gonna like over cap really quickly. And you grabbing McNeil and Turner was amazing, I thought.
Yeah, it gives me a really dynamic 1-2 punch. And I'll throw Castellanos, the Tigers outfielder who I have DHing, and Bellinger, even though they're both in the mid 300s. They're both, I mean, all 4 of them are very useful. Like, they're not hitters that a pitcher can take a breath around. And it gives my lineup incredible depth.
Are you going to be able to upgrade to Cody Bellinger 2019?
Yes.
You think?
Yeah. Did you not see Matt's? So
what is the point value?
Matt set up rules that if someone was in your top 10 picks, you're allowed to upgrade them for next season without a change in their point value.
God, that's what you're talking about.
None of us knew going into the draft.
Yeah.
I completely lucked into this.
Yeah. So if anybody's not following me on Twitter or Bradley, which I think is MLB Showdown Buff, I think something like that. Yeah. I'm not exactly sure. But Bradley helps with some of the 2019 futuristic artwork that we're working on. And he does my power rank pictures that we create. And the power rankings are sort of a formula between me and Peter that we've been working on. And Bellinger, if you're not following, is like 700 plus points right now and just ridiculous. But he is ridiculous in real life, and it does reflect on his card.
It seems inevitable that he's going to end the year as an on-base 10, like worst case, on-base 10 homer at 17, maybe 9 homer at 16. Like, he's going to get to 40 homers.
Oh, yeah. I don't see how he can't.
So I get to keep him at this price point.
That's ridiculous.
Also, another wrinkle that was added to this league was if you were under the salary points after the draft, next year you get to like add that over. So after the draft, because I had budgeted for the pennant run upgrade, completely by accident, I was 50 points under in order to upgrade Bryce Harper later. So going into next season, I'm guaranteed to start with 5,050 points.
Interesting.
Also, Jeff McNeil right now is the 4th best on-base percentage in baseball.
He is ridiculous. He's hitting the ball really well.
So he might also be an upgrade to an on-base 10 next year at 260 points.
Yeah, your team for some reason, even though they're good, like looks like it's gonna get better.
Oh, it seems like it definitely will. And the luxury is like I could get rid of a guy like Bryce and get a cheaper fielding guy or whatnot and add another ace.
Yep.
Like get rid of Junior Guerrera or really upgrade Keuchel. So
Yeah.
there's going to be a lot of options for season 2. And I feel very rewarded for my fortunate drafting.
Absolutely. So let's go down your team really quick. I'm on the page that Matt puts together that send to everybody with the images, and just break down through your starting rotation and maybe real quickly why or why not, or if you like them or don't.
Yeah, so I was very happy that Verlander ended up still being there at the top of the 6th round. So I was going to draft him at the top of the 2nd, and I'm getting him in the 6th round. Absolute ace, no doubles, control 5, tier 2. Easily goes 7, can probably go 8 under Matt's league. I'm a big fan of him.
Yeah, I'm a fan of anybody that has no doubles.
Yeah. So he's my ace and a real rock, I think. My next, Zach Greinke, who I picked up very late in the draft. He was hanging around for a long time. I targeted him. I wanted to make sure the salary would work. I knew I needed another really good starting pitcher, tier 3 at least. And I was able to make it work salary-wise, despite my Paul Goldschmidt debacle we'll get to later on.
We will get to that.
And so I did end up with Greinke, very pleased, and I love the black look.
Well, and you are a big fan of, as everyone knows, the 4-control, 16-out players. These are Peter's bread and butter, and he definitely snaked. Obviously, he got a 5-1 through 16 on his team, but he also got his bread and butter, Zach Greinke. And actually, I like your next guy, Dallas Keuchel, with the no doubles.
I knew you would. And this is when my initial plan. Well, in terms of really changing things on the fly, it was really late the first night we drafted, and I was tired. I was picking for you. I had a lot of other stuff going on, and I think it was round 8. I'd waited forever. I drafted Adam Eaton, who's also gone from my team, because I had no outfield defense at all without realizing it.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw that Paul Goldschmidt was somehow still on the board, and so I just said, here we go. I'm taking Paul Goldschmidt, and my team's going to be absolutely stacked on offense. And part of that then was drafting Dallas Keuchel as the sort of cheaper number 2 starter option, where I was like, it's under 400 points, no doubles for control 4.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna roll with this. Glad he's my number 3 now. I ended up cutting Paul Goldschmidt, and I. Basically, Matt's rules were that you could like draft up and then fix your salary cap stuff before, like at the very end of the draft.
Mm-hmm.
So I just went way over and then cut Paul Goldschmidt and added a 10-point guy. But yeah, Dallas Keuchel was going to be my number 2, and I'm glad he's my number 3.
Absolutely.
Junior Guerrera, I think, is just like, of all the crappy control 2 1 to 16 out guys, he was the cheapest I could find.
Mm-hmm.
They're all in that like 150, 160, 170, 180 range, depending on whatever. So happy with him as a number 4. Hopefully don't have to rely on him on any like super key starts. What I'm really happy about is my top 3 in the bullpen. I think to win successfully because this is a 48 game season.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a grind. Matt takes really good care of the bullpens and keeps guys fresh. And in order to really excel in it, I wanted to have 3 really good bullpen guys so he could always have 2 of them to use.
This is where I think I screwed up later. I only had 2 superb relievers, and the other 3 were below grade, and I think I ran into, under Matt's stuff, one of the days that Fernando Rodney got blown up.
Yep.
So that's going to happen.
Yeah, and so like I'm trying to make sure that if it's ever a close game, you never have to use a mediocre bullpen arm.
Absolutely.
So I got 3 tier 2s. It's expensive, but I think very worthwhile. Then I've got Joe Kelly, who's at least a serviceable number 4.
Yeah.
Like if I have to use him, he's not a guaranteed shelling, which is big.
It's interesting. Now, I remember like doing the Boston where we would like make fun of Joe Kelly.
Yeah.
But then as we're looking at this, like, That's what I'm saying. Like I'm starting to realize more of the salary value of somebody like Junior Guerrero, Joe Kelly. You know, it's like, man, he's gonna have to find a spot on a team. And
Yeah.
when we get to my team, I'll show you where I try to find the value. But that's was interesting to me when we were drafting.
Then my next two, I don't see the value in having bench players at all.
Yeah,
Like I mean, I listen when people say like, oh, speed off, fielding off the bench. It's just not worth it salary wise.
yeah,
Like I want to put all my points into the guys who are going to play for most of it,
yes,
and I want them to get at bats. Like
absolutely.
I'd rather be able to have the chance for another home run or another big inning in the eighth or ninth than like, oh, I get an extra +1 on
Yeah,
my throw to
and
first base.
and really, what it comes down to in the drafting when you're doing a bench is fighting over 10-point players, which I think is
Yeah.
stupid. Now, when I run my league, I run an 18-man draft, and the bench is optional. And what
Nice.
happens is, what I like about it is people that maybe had a really slow team or just had 20 points
Yeah.
left over, they end up getting like the speed 20 guys that are fours, and they just use them as pinch runners for like
Yeah.
their catchers in like the eighth or ninth inning, which has worked out very well in my league where a guy gets in second base, they pinch run and put an A-speed guy in, and then all they're looking for is a single. I
That
mean,
does help.
yeah, but I think you should have the option where, like you said, I don't really want a bench.
No, I like I get it. It's fine. It's just not for me. Like I'd rather use the points elsewhere. But since I had to in this one, I went with my aforementioned guys I promised I would draft based on their artwork alone. So Jake McGee staring into the souls of opposing hitters and really sharp looking Noah Ramirez. And Tayron Guerrero hasn't been made yet, but he was actually a solid control two.
Okay.
Like no home run off his chart for
Oh,
10 points.
There you go. Well, that's a bonus.
Yeah, so he technically could pitch without being like devastatingly awful,
Yeah.
unlike the other two. And then we get to my lineup. I'll be honest, I legitimately think I have the best lineup in the league.
If you don't now, you will in a year.
Well, for sure in a year. I think my 1 through 7, I feel, is extremely strong. Jeff McNeil, prototypical leadoff guy. I had a lot of trouble sort of deciding where to put guys because it's a very fast lineup.
Yeah.
And it's a lineup with a ton of extra bases on their charts while all being 8 or higher.
Yeah,
1 through
you
7.
have well, you have 5 guys at 8. What's Brian Holiday? Is he an A-speed as well?
No, but
Okay, so
Sanchez
you have 5 A-speed guys, and 2 of them at the max of 23.
Yep.
That's very
and,
impressive.
And then they're really juggled without. My 5 and 6 guys are on base 8s who double at 12.
Yeah. Wow.
And Turner single pluses at 12.
Yeah, well, Turner. I knew you were always looking at Turner. I mean, one of the ones that I did not like that I was mad about was Lorenzo Cain went 15 overall. I was hoping he was going to slide because I love Cain as a leadoff hitter, but I do like you having Jeff McNeil. I really like the high on base, no homer, A-speed guys in the leadoff because you can get value for their points. But
what I like about McNeil, and obviously he's a 9 instead of a 10, but unlike all of those 10s, like the Adam Eaton, Lorenzo Cain, Jose Altuve, Joey Vottos, McNeil triples at 18.
Yeah.
And doubles at 15. So he ends up with so much more pop on his chart, and even though he's not going to put it over the fence, he's going to, getting him immediately to third as an 822, you just need a grounder.
Well, I mean, even if you got him
or
on
a single or a fly ball, like he's.
Well, even if you got him on second base at a 14, because you're probably going to be able to steal.
Yeah.
Trey Turner comes up with basically a 50-50 shot if he gets the advantage to knock him in, because he's going to score from second. Yeah. And if not, 50-50 shot again with Bryce Harper.
And then JD Martinez.
Yeah, so that's where I think, I mean, even then.
Because I indisputably best 3-4 combo with the 2 on base 10 homer at 17 guys, both double at 14 also.
Yeah.
Love my leadoff situation. And then the 5-6, a lot of people a little hesitant on the on base 8s. That's where I decided to derive most of my value.
Mm-hmm.
I tried to go with guys because it was between drafting like the Bellinger or Nick C types where they have a lot more extra bases, like doubling at 12 versus the homer at 16 guys who are a little pricier. And so I went with the more doubles, the better.
I mean, I even think as you get down to the base year lineup, getting Yalmer Sanchez, who's an A speed
Yeah.
plus 3 third baseman, he like helps your infield because you sacrifice a little bit, but you
He
only
is
spent
my
40.
entire infield.
But you spent 40 points on him.
Yeah.
I mean, that's incredible.
And he's still at least an on base 6. So people are mostly going to have to roll on him.
Yeah, I just think
You
that's a
can double
great
at 12.
pickup. I love getting speed A guys, and we'll talk about this when I did my draft part. But I think you found a great value in that, getting the plus fielding, plus speed, and not tanking like to a 5 on base like I did.
He was my target from the beginning. Holiday's a tank at a 5, but he's got that plus 8 or 9 arm, which is why I got him. Man, and just imagine what this lineup would look like if you take out, if you substitute Paul Goldschmidt's on base 10, homer at 18 for Castellanos. And for a long time I was budgeting Josh Donaldson's pennant run card in for Sanchez.
Now that one did get drafted by somebody, didn't he?
Yeah, picked up immediately.
Okay.
All
right. Well, I love your team. I know we're gonna try to get through everybody tonight, so let's move on to my team. Is the Cleveland Titans, who I drafted Mike Trout first as my pick. Then I had to jump offline. Peter was able to grab me Trevor Bauer, which I absolutely love, and Trevor Story, which he knew I was targeting if I couldn't get Acuna, who went 13th overall, that I wanted Story. So thank you again for grabbing him for me.
You're welcome.
So I really like that. And then I drafted Nolan Arenado and Manny Machado, Sean Doolittle, and I had to jump back offline, and Peter was able to get me a good catcher. So we'll break down my team really quickly. Obviously, Bauer is lights out, control 6, no doubles. He's just a stud.
Yes.
So obviously super pumped about getting him, and obviously he already dominated one game. He's probably gonna dominate more. Noah Syndergaard right into Peter's wheelhouse of a forward, control to 16. Only one I was mad about not getting was Madison Bumgarner, which we were talking about. He just was too far out of my price range.
We were trying.
Late. I know
we were trying to make it work.
It was too late in the draft, and then I couldn't get him. So I ended up getting Chris Archer, which I thought was a good pick. Which does suck with the 5 innings, which again gets to the problem where it goes in my bullpen early. It's almost like Sean Doolittle has to pitch on the games that Chris Archer's pitching. if I don't like get rocked because he's only in control 2. But I do like knocking with doubles, and then I just try to grab the best at the end of the thing. I think my last pick was Michael Fulmer, second last pick. All I need to do is get a starter at 130 points to make it work, and that's the best guy I could find.
No home runs.
No home runs. I don't like him. Obviously, I hate control 1s. I hate control 2s, but I spent a lot on my lineup. And again, I'm picking and Peter's picking, and this is sort of experimental, so we're just trying to figure it out. I did grab the best closer in baseball, which was Sean Doolittle. I didn't eye him. I really wanted Blake Trean.
Yeah.
But he was drafted before I could get him, so I had to jump up on the fly, and I said, you know what, I'm just going to go for the best one available. I probably could have gone, down that list to get like a 200-point guy and then spent 80 more points on my starter. And again,
then you would have had like a 210-point guy who's still, I don't know. You'd end up with a control 2 on it.
Well, I wonder if I could go even lower and then upgrade Chris Archer to a Madison Bumgarner,
Yeah.
But anyway, this could still happen. I want to test out this strategy to see how it works, and then we can talk later I can talk later about trying to like do what Peter did, is like, look at pennant run cards, look at other people. But Sean Doolittle is what I was eyeing as just a stud closer. I wanted to get one other stud reliever, so I got Taylor Rogers, which I thought was great because he's under 200 points.
Yep.
And he's a 5-1 through 69. I mean, that is just lights out.
Yeah.
The other two are exactly the same, so you don't have his exact picture here, but he is a 2 control reliever that doesn't give up double, and he's only 20 points, I think. I'm pretty sure. He's like exactly the same as Fernando Rodney. And in my opinion, I don't know how you could not see the value in a Fernando Rodney, who is no doubles, a
Yeah.
standard 1 through 15 out, and only 20 points. I don't care if this guy was a one control pitcher. I would have grabbed him for the amount of value that you're getting for only 20 points. So
Does he get lit up though?
he did. And his game that he pitched, I think he already let up 6 earned runs or 4 earned runs. And again, that's where his 2 controls coming in.
Yeah.
But and that's where I think where your strategy was better with getting 3 good relievers. Like if I could get one more good reliever, let's say if I spent 80 less points, like I said on Sean Doolittle, and found a better person for Zach Duke, and just had Fernando Rodney for the games they're either blown out or whatever. But either way, I've seen people do strategy before where they max out lineups and have 2 control pitchers in Showdown and do fine. Yeah. It just depends on the dice gods and how they're going. So it's a little rough, and guess what? That's Fernando Rodney in real life, so no worries there, and we'll see how it works out. And then I also grabbed a 10-point reliever for the bench, which I was super pumped to get one that was a 2 control that didn't homered at 10 points. So I was fine by that.
That was a great steal.
Yeah.
Is your lineup in order of its batting order that you said?
Yes. So
all right.
I'm testing.
That needs some explanation on some of your choices.
Okay,
here.
so I'll explain this, and I'm testing out a different strategy here, and I know even Matt was like, "What are you doing?" Like, and I was like, "Just let me test it out, and if it doesn't work, it's 48 games. I'll just change it later." The last 2 picks I picked up were just 20-point guy and 10-point guy. All I was trying to do was lowest I could get on my bench. Again, that's anyone was trying to do. I will never, hopefully, have to play them ever. So during my lineup, obviously Mike Trout, I think was the best player in the whole draft. I got him to be my hitter. As one of my best hitters, I wanted him. I grabbed Manny Machado, which I think was a stud pick. I probably reached on Machado because I forgot that I had drafted Nolan Arenado. So Machado ended up being my DH.
And Story.
Well, correct. But like Machado has to be my DH because Nolan Arenado is playing third at a better spot. But I love Nolan getting a +3 defense.
You might have the best one. I think you've got the best 1 through 4 in any order.
Yeah, and I tried to get a lot of defense, whereas you sort of punted. Like I have a 7 control catcher. I have I believe 4 outfield, 7. I think it's 8. I think I have like an 8 infield, something like that. Like I tried to do decent, the best I could.
Yeah, because that brief like sidebar on it, like the 4 outfield versus 0 outfield. Although now I have a 3 outfield because I picked up the +3.
Yeah,
I mean 4 versus 0. If you're a speed A23 guy, you have +5 coming home. It's a 28. I can't get you either way.
Absolutely. Actually, in my leagues, I try to tell people that in old Showdown where 20 was the max.
Yeah.
That you'd want at least a 6 outfield.
If you get a 5% chance to throw them out,
and there is still a shot.
See, I'm like that. It's so improbable that I'd much rather have like a 30% chance of scoring more runs on my side.
No, and that's where I think you have to decide before you draft. Like, how am I doing this? So I only have 4 outfield, and I don't think I did it on purpose. As we'll go through this, Trout was just because Trout is Trout. But in my infield, I did, where I have 3 third base. Story's a +4, and I'm pretty sure D. Gordon's a +4. So it's 8, 9, 10, 11. I have an 11 infield, which will help me.
Belt's is +2. Belt's a +2.
So I have 13 infield.
Depending on what D. Gordon is. He's either
I thought he was a
4 or 3.
I thought he was a 4.
He's definitely good.
So I did that, but So anyway, Nolan Arenado, Trevor Story, I think was a freaking monster for 470. Yeah. This is like how you're doing it, where, I mean, at 9, I might be getting on second base. I have a plus defense and an 8. I mean, super good stud. David Peralta, you grabbed for me, who's just a monster at an 8 control or 8 on base guy.
This would be an area where maybe we could have gone with like a Corey Dickerson
a
for
cheaper
50
option.
Points left.
Yeah.
To help your bullpen or something. I mean, it was a mid-round, and I was just grabbing guys.
Yeah, but I mean, for an 8 that only gets on at 4.
He's very good.
He's solid.
Basically, he was a guy that like I was gonna pick.
Oh yeah, this is right in your wheelhouse.
Yeah, and so I put him on. I'm like, he's great. He's for a number 5 hitter. Yes.
So later on, then I got to D. Gordon and Rajay Davis, where I was trying to grab value. So I said, I just need speed. Like, I'm going 5. I'm not going to get the advantage. But if the chance I get a walk, I want to be able to steal second.
Yeah.
So both D. Gordon and Rajai Davis were like 23 speed guys. They're both fives. I debated on second base grabbing a guy that could hit a home run that was a 6 for the same amount of points, but I debated with some of my friends and I said, between a 6 and a 5, how many times have I gotten an advantage? Like, barely ever. I'm like, the best chance I can get is get on base and try to steal. Yeah. So I just said, give me the guy for D. Gordon. So I did D. Gordon. I thought Brandon Belt was a great pick by you. I think he was like 200 and something points.
Yeah, he's like your quintessential guy. Yeah. I think he's an on-base 8, too.
Yeah, he's like an on-base 8 for 200-something points. I'm like, I mean, fantastic value. And then I love Francisco Cervelli as the 10.
I think I also got him for you.
No, you did. But you
I knew he was also like someone you talked about maybe drafting him in like the 3rd round.
I love him. I think he's excellent.
And he fell all the way to 7, and I snatched him up.
So I love him. He's got a great arm, great power. He's going to get on base, hopefully. So now here's the lineup, and here's my theory behind it. And I don't know, and you could tell me afterwards what you would do. But my thought was, I really want an A-speed guy in the leadoff spot, but I don't have any A-speed guys that are high enough besides Trevor Story. So whereas your team had a ton of speed, mine doesn't. So Mike Trout's the only guy that's going to get on base and then also be able to get to second on a stolen base or third or something, or tag from second. So I said, I'll get on base with Trout being 11, and then I'll use my immense power from Machado, Arenado, Story to get him home.
Yeah.
I'll continue that going with David Peralta, where I debated putting Francisco Cervelli there, but I put Peralta there. Then I said, I've done this before where I've had 2 5s back to back. It happens so many times that I've played that they just get run through every single time. I figured if I have to sacrifice an out with D. Gordon, I want to then back it up with a guy that's not going to get out with Brandon Belt. And if I have to sacrifice Rajai Davis, I want to back it up with somebody that's not going to get out. I wanted to break up my shitty hitters and not just have them at 8, 9.
But I mean, my initial thought, because I like your breakup idea. The thing is, if Rajai Davis is batting 9th, you've broken it up by having Trout as the guy behind him.
And here's the thought. Trout is only the leadoff hitter in the first inning. So this is the same situation that happens in the National League where they put the pitchers batting 8th. That Cervelli then is my last batter, but he's technically the guy that bats before Trout for the rest of the game.
The problem is you've got D. Gordon hitting 6th.
Oh, trust me, it doesn't look good. But
that's where it all falls apart, because I understand what you're saying, but it ends up putting, like, if you get a bases loaded when Trout leads off an inning ever, and you get bases loaded, you've got the on-base 5 coming up.
Well, I would have Peralta coming up first.
Bases loaded, 2 outs.
So, bases loaded, Brandon Belt's up.
Well, no, Belt is hitting 7th.
Yeah, that's some. Yeah, bases loaded would be Trout, Trout. Oh, Arenado. Oh, so Story gets out. David Peralta gets out. Yeah, you're right. D. Gordon be coming up.
And you could have an on-base 10 who's like the prototypical number 6 hitter.
So
you just want a guy who like gets singles and gets on base.
So what I would do there, when I think I'd have to throw Brandon Belt as my last batter, because I cannot stand. I don't know how many times I've done it. My 8, 9 guys get out. It comes back to my leadoff hitter, which I've done Ichiro. I've had tons of guys, and they get a base hit or a double, and there's no one on base. Like, I need a guy to get on base in front of Trout. So that's why I almost debated putting Cervelli first. Like, just have him lead off.
I was going to say, like, that's your other option. Hit Cervelli number 1.
That was
really
my thought.
Get a long lineup. Trout 2. I mean, I would hit Story
3rd.
I mean, honestly,
I would if
all those guys are good.
If I went Cervelli first, I would go Trout, Story, Arenado, Machado.
And then Peralta's an incredibly good number 6.
Yeah, and then you just bank out your lineup, and then you just have, like I said, I like having a good guy as my last spot. That's just me.
Yeah.
So I would put Belt as the 8 and the 10 hole or 9 hole, and then be able to come right back to 10, 11, 8.
Yeah.
So we'll switch it up, but I told Matt specifically I wanted to try this, and he said, whatever you want, Bob. So that's that. So let's go then to SoCal, which is the I don't remember whose team this is.
I think this is
this is
Bradley's team.
Bradley's team. So this is the team I played first week and beat me 2-1.
They're really good.
Yeah, and they have a good solid team.
They're one of the quote unquote expansion teams.
Yep.
And so
Folkowitz is good.
Obviously
Bueller's good.
it's tough because you have a smaller pool of players to choose from. But then you get the sneaky benefit of not really having to worry about other guys taking your targets as much. So you can, because I think he drafted with one other player
Yeah, it
throughout
was
it,
just him and one that they just went back and
and
forth.
they like went back and forth. But that way you're able to like really fill out your roster in your head more versus like really having a lot of doubts about what's going to be available as you go through.
So I'm just looking at his team right now, and I really like Eddie
It's a great
Rosario
team.
just
Yeah.
being a stud outfielder. I hate the 1 through 6 out, but man, is he, because he hit the ball well. And then this Jed Jerko is actually a pretty decent pick for
Yeah.
260, getting an 8 that can homer at 19. Mitch
Good
Moreland,
fielding.
tons of power. Pollock gets you speed in outfield and a ton of power if you ever got the advantage.
I love Polanco.
Let's see, where is he? Oh, Gregory Polanco. Yeah, his chart's stupid, and he's a speed A8 guy for under 400 points.
I was really tempted to draft him.
So he went fielding though. He's got a +5 Dansby Swanson. He
plus
just
3, plus 1. Yeah.
And then he grabbed a good catcher. I mean, obviously this is where this is actually a really good catcher for +8 arm. So I really like his team. He did bench points. It looks like where he grabbed speed A guy and then a guy to switch in, I guess.
He's got a really good rotation.
Yeah, I think that's where 330 being his lowest, he's gonna do some damage. So we did,
and a very good bullpen too.
Yeah, I really like his. How is Dominguez and Lorenzen?
Lorenzen's nobody. Okay. Dominguez is a control 4, 1-17 out, no doubles.
Oh yeah, that's nice.
So he's really good. He's without the double.
Oh, okay, so that's good.
2 tier 2s, and then Betances is a very good third option.
Okay, so let's go over to Skyway Rainiers.
Yeah.
Who got Mr. Mustache, which I love, and then actually one of my favorite picks in the whole draft, which I probably would have grabbed super early if I was online, was Clevenger. I think Clevenger is such an undervalued, no double 4 through 16 guy.
Yeah. But he's slightly more expensive than the 440 for like Syndergaard. I think he's 30 points more for the double, but so good.
Yeah,
Chad Green's a stud too.
Who's Nick Pivetta? Is he the Phillies guy?
Yeah, he's not good.
Okay. Obviously, I like Craig Kimbrell just with his picture, no doubles. Chad Green, he took right in front of me. I was eyeing Chad Green. I was wanting him so bad, I thought, and then got him. I mean, he's good. No doubles.
In a really good
he drafted
lineup.
Like all your guys that like picture wise you like, like Archie Bradley.
He took a bunch of them. He took Archie.
I thought you like Kimbrel.
He took
too.
Nicholas.
Yeah.
He snaked Benintendi.
Yeah.
Obviously, his first rounder. He got my favorite player in the set, Christian Yelich.
Yep. Yeah. So let's see his team. So he's got an interesting chance to upgrade with Christian Yelich for next year. But he goes 10-9. He goes 10-9, 10-10, and then is Gene Segura a 9?
He's an 8.
Okay, so he's an 8. So he drops off kind of quickly, but Freddie Freeman the +2, and Benintendi is going to be solid. Altuve is good. Christian Yelich is stupid, and he's going to be even stupider next year.
And then a really weak 7, 8, 9.
Yeah, because Gene Segura is pretty good. Oh, so he grabbed Yadier. See, I think people overspend on him just because his home runs are so high that makes his point value go up, but +10 arm is hard to argue about.
Although when you look at the low control at the bottom of rotations and bullpens, the on-base 6s might end up being more valuable than we thought.
You're probably right. And actually, when I'm looking at this, I really love that we did the catchers with pictures of them catching, because Molina and Mathis look excellent. So let's see what else he did. He got Billy Hamilton, so he went speed.
He went speed on the bench.
And then whatever. Yeah, speed on the bench. Okay, so that's a good team. Yeah. This is the Skyway Banditos. Are they two people the same person? Why they're both Skyway?
I have no idea.
Okay. Blake Snell really. Oh, geez, he went super heavy in the first two. Yeah. Blake Snell, Max Scherzer. So a lot. Sorry, for people listening at home. I didn't get to see a lot of this because again, Peter helped draft when I was watching my kids and stuff. But
we're kind of reacting live. To some of these
so it's great. So Blake Snell, which I think is a stud. I actually think I want him more than I want Jacob deGrom, just because he's so good.
High control.
Max Scherzer is like a Randy Johnson, which
And
scares me.
I think he's super valuable in this league, especially
Snell or
because
you
of
talking about Snell?
Scherzer.
Oh, Scherzer. Okay.
Because of just like the way that starting pitchers tend to be used, that
Yeah.
IP8 is going to be such a benefit for the bullpen.
Yeah.
Because it is going to be used. He's going to get a lot of complete games.
Yeah.
I mean, Snell is going to pitch a bunch too, just because he can go. He'll be a control 3 in the ninth inning, and so I think he'll be out there a lot.
Yeah. I don't know what's this Ian Nova guy he picked up with the Homer. That scares me.
Yeah, I think he had to cut cost.
Yeah. I mean, Alex Cobb, I'd rather have at no home run.
Because wait until his lineup.
Okay. So Kirby Yates, talk to me real quick. I'm pretty sure he's a really good closer for the Padres.
Yeah. 1 to 17 out.
And then
guy.
How's Craig Stammen?
Also good.
Okay. And then Alex. So he went. Just get me to the bullpen. Because Alex
Wilson's he's got
good.
2 really good and a third okay guy.
I actually think
3.
Alex Wilson's great as a 5, 1 through 15, better than my bullpen for
That's
3
true.
guys.
Yeah, as someone with 3 tier 2s, when it's a tier 3 in the third slot, I'm like, eh.
Yeah. So then we got Max Muncy, who I absolutely love. I cannot believe he fell so far in the draft.
He and JD should have been top 7 picks.
Where did Muncy go? Where did he go?
Second round. Because if he'd gotten back to me again, I was gonna snag him.
No, he went in the 3rd round. After I got Story, he went.
Yeah.
But before he got back to you,
if he had dropped 3 more slots, I would have taken him instead of instead of McNeil.
Yeah, instead of McNeil. So he went 27, and I think he's a top 10 player in my opinion.
Top 7.
Yeah, he is a straight monster. Again, you're not getting like speed or anything. You're just looking for straight raw 10 to 17 home run power.
It's amazing.
Bregman, great. Mitch Haniger's good. But then it really starts to fall down.
Yeah, I guess
Martell. He drafted a lot of people that we don't have pictures for yet.
Yeah, so Martell, Camargo, Bader. It's a very top-heavy team.
This also looks like a lot of infield, outfield defense.
Yeah.
But I know you love Bader.
Bader's good.
And he's really good for his...
I love his picture.
His picture, he's actually got a lot of pop. 7's not bad. So he went Matt Wieters for catcher. You'll have to fill me in about Austin Slater and Phillip Ervin. Are they anybody? Okay, nobody. And then just a bunch of garbage.
I think they're on base 7 guys.
All right, so this team, he probably could rework a little bit. I think he spent too much on some of these players.
I mean, it's a very top-heavy team.
Yes. He's going to try to win games 1, 2, and then, I just don't know if he finishes above 500.
I mean, I think the 1-2 is going to put him in great position for others.
Yeah, he could just.
And he's got a good bullpen, and I think Muncy, Bregman, Haniger are going to be. I think he's going to be around 500. I don't know if he ends up as one of the 4 playoff teams.
Yeah, I think what he's going to do is, at least if I'm Matt that's running the playing, is Blake Snell is going almost a complete game. Max Scherzer is going almost complete game, and you're just wearing your bullpen out on the 3-4 guys.
Yeah.
But yeah, so, I mean, overall, probably just about 500, but we'll see. He's probably going to beat me. But we'll see. I mean, I got a pretty heavy lineup, so I could take advantage of his 3-4 starters.
Yeah, so, and Scherzer.
So let's go.
I mean, it all depends on how the rolls are going.
Yeah, well, as my cousin always says, I don't care what you drafted. The dice gods are the dice gods, and they're gonna do whatever they can. So let's go to Fires Festival. Fires Festival. So I know you told me.
Best team in the league.
So this is Peter's best team prediction. Besides, you think he's better than your team?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's look at this then. So we got John Lester. Wow, he went straight 400. Oh, this is actually really well constructed. So straight 400.
It's all control 5, 1 to 15s. Although, as anyone who played the original game knows, the 5, 1 to 15 outs are extremely fickle. David, I don't know anyone who actually uses David Cone or Greg Maddux because they always got lit up. So
true, but
that's where I hesitate. But on paper, it's an amazing rotation.
But he went deep also just with the what you do is if you don't spend 500 points on a player, you can make this all 400 point guys. I probably would have just grabbed one guy to crap out, like whatever. But it looks pretty impressive at 1 through 4. You're gonna have a couple tough games in there. Like,
Especially for a 48 game season, I
yeah,
think it's a great rotation, especially with how many people punted in their fourth, if not their third spot in their rotation.
yeah,
I think he's going to pick up a lot of cheap wins.
yeah. Carrasco's gonna be like one of like the wins leaders in the leagues because of that.
Yeah, and so I think it's really smart drafting, and I mean it's the bedrock for why I think they're the best team. Hernandez and Morrow. I mean, Moore 5 on at 16. You know, like it's just you got the high control. Alvarez is a good third option.
Who
It,
is Fires Festival? Do you know? Is that's
I have
not
no idea.
Matt's? I was like, 'cause this guy drafted a couple Indians guys. So I was wondering.
Yeah, Matt is not like a participant. He's
Oh,
like
okay.
he's just the commissioner.
Okay, no
So
favorites. Good job, Matt. Good
exactly.
job.
Yeah.
So yeah, so the
Um,
back end of the bullpen kind of falls apart, but even a 4 at 1 through 15 is not super bad,
well,
especially
and then
for
he's got
100
all
points.
and then he's got the 3 10-point guys for blowouts
Yeah,
to
well,
use
they're all
to
homer
keep the
guys
rest
though. It
fresh.
scares the shit out of me.
Well, it's like in mine. Like I'm never
Yeah.
gonna use them unless the game is out of hand.
All right, so let's look at this lineup then. So he's got Mookie Betts.
Yeah,
Sterling Marte is just on base, trying to get on base. So he's got Mookie, which I think is the second best player in the draft.
very
Um,
good. Juan Soto, one of your
and,
favorites.
and this guy, again, I think next year's card's going to be better. Matt Chapman, man,
Stud.
that's really good too.
And then
Jose
Jose Martinez
Martinez.
is really good.
Yeah, for 350, getting a 9 that homers at 19. Again, he's
And
slow, but whatever.
And you know I love Chris Taylor,
we
both
both
because
love
of that
Chris Taylor.
awesome picture,
We both
even though
love
it breaks
him.
my heart. And
His
Colton
chart's too
Wong,
good.
a lot of great fielding.
So yeah, he went really high. He went high on fielding, still managed to do pretty well.
Yeah.
Though it's not an overall high on base lineup.
I don't think it needs to be in this league and with his
Yeah.
starting pitching. I think it's the perfect lineup for scoring 4 to 5 runs and shutting people down with the strong pitching when he has. Basically, I think it's a team constructed to win about 60% or more of its games in a very competitive league over 48 games. Like one game, I don't know if it's significantly better than any other team. I don't think any of these teams, like one-on-one, I would say like this team can't lose to that team.
Yeah.
But over 48 games, this is the one I think most likely is going to get to 30 wins. I think the Lemons are my second favorite of those teams.
Yeah, I like Lemons a lot right now.
And I think the two teams have the most in common in their rotations are really, really good.
So I like Manny Pina. Is that Pina or Pina?
Yeah, Pina.
He's I mean, that's a good pick for 80 points.
Yeah.
But I believe Adam Engel's on his bench.
Yeah.
He's just an ace guy. So he's
He-
actually playing. Oh, he's playing Chris Taylor at center.
Yeah.
And he's just having Mookie play the +3 left-right field. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a great overall team.
I think, no, Taylor's at shortstop.
Oh wait.
Brett Gardner's in center
Gardner's
field.
the outfield, and then Sterling Marte's the DH.
Yeah.
Or yeah, because the
Or
other
Soto's the DH, one way or the other.
yeah, it
And then he
doesn't-
can bring,
one or the
and then
other.
he can always bring Engel into center field and shift Gardner to a corner.
Yeah.
So
Interesting.
it's
Well, he can. What he can do though is like say Soto got on. Well, you wouldn't want to do that, but he could pinch run with Engel from being speed.
Yeah. And like
It's
you
a
might
good
pinch
team.
run in the 8th if Soto gets a single.
It's actually
He's
really
probably
colorful.
not going to come up again.
He drafted a lot of like color. I like
Yeah,
looking at his
Pretty
team.
awesome.
All right, let's go to Datboy X, which I actually like him on Twitter. If no one knows Datboy X, he's always talking on Twitter. I like his comments. He's
Yeah,
fun.
he's a good egg.
Yeah.
That boy
Um,
X.
So Datboy X has got Clayton Kershaw, which I think he reached too far on him. But I actually think Kyle Freeland is going to be good, even though I hate 15 or 1 through 14 out guys. I just think
As
a
someone
control
who hates
6.
1 to 15 out guys, I'm really out on 1 to 14.
It just
I think Kyle Freeland is going to be extremely frustrating for him. He's going to have a couple really good starts, and there's going to be some where he ends up getting shelled because
what's
he
that?
keeps innings
So
alive
he's
on
gonna
his own
have
chart.
12 starts, which I think is gonna be
Right.
great to see what he really ends up being, because I've never, at least I don't remember any that are 6 control, no double 1 through 14
Yeah.
outs. That's what's so
It'll be
impressive
fun.
about this guy. And then obviously they used the Ronaldo Lopez version that I had from the throwback
Nice.
01 style. I actually think that card's pretty good. Porcello, he's
Same
okay.
thing. Yeah.
Jeffries is good.
Stud. So is Strop.
Stope is good.
Really good 1-2 punch there. And then
Yeah.
Alvarado's a very solid number 3.
Okay, and Shane Green's garbage.
Yeah.
So we got Justin Turner, stud. Anthony Rizzo, stud. Wilson Ramos
Ramos is really good.
He's good.
Jesus and Stanton are really.
I like a lot of people like his. I was talking to other people in my play group, and they think an 8-16 home run guy is super valuable, and for under 400 points is really good.
Yeah.
And he's got 2 back-to-back. That is a lot of power, right there.
And then Lowry and Schwarber are really good on-base 8 hitters.
So he goes 10, 10, 9, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8. What's JT Riddle? I don't know.
5. He sucks. Okay,
so he dropped down in the end, but
he punted 8 and 9.
That's fine. I mean, I punted 8.
It's a lot like my lineup, except my on-base 10s are significantly better.
So his bench is just the 10-point guys because it's just full of catchers.
It's pretty much like it is fun. Like I think this lineup is it's literally almost constructed the same way on base wise.
Mm-hmm.
But he's got more pop with his on base 8s. I have a lot more pop with my 10s, and then I have a lot more speed.
I really like those 8s. I like Aguilar and Stanton a lot.
The 4-5's great. Ramos's arm is awesome.
Yeah, I just feel like it'd be nice if if Ramos could slide into the 6 spot and he had somebody better to slide into the 3 spot. I don't know how you could. I'm just thinking out loud. Like that's where I think
there's not much speed on this team.
No, there is not.
I think that's what's gonna. I mean, I think Riddle and Jones both might be A's, but they're
so his first 4 guys are 14, 13, 10, 10. And then Lowry's a 10.
15, 10, 15. Woo! Schwarber is the fastest of the first 7.
That's awesome. Okay, so we got Dapwax covered. We got the Covington Crush.
Who I
Aaron
don't
Nola,
think...
who has nobody's seen yet, is a stud. I mean, an absolute powerhouse. Jose Barris, I think, is going to get an upgrade this year coming up, which he's good. No really double. Good. Cole Hamels, no double.
He and Hamels are kind of, I mean, they're the same as like Mike Keuchel.
Yeah.
I think those are solid picks.
Yep. I don't know Brian Mitchell.
I think he's bad.
Okay. Edwin Diaz is like the second best closer in the league.
Very good. And then he also has
he's got Trinian. So this is Trinian is the guy that I wanted. I thought for 240, a 6 closer, 1 through 16 out, no doubles.
This is best 1-2 punch in any bullpen.
Yeah. I mean, even then going to his 3
Chiswick's
guy.
really good too.
Oh yeah. Does he have 2 side armors on his team with Tim Hill and Cishek?
Yep.
That's kind of
ready
funny.
lefty.
So in real baseball, that'd be fun to play against.
This is a really fun team, and I think this one has to be like one of the on paper funnest looking. It's like all on base 9s are better until JT.
He got Whit Merrifield too. That's solid. Oh, so I love Malik Smith as a leadoff hitter, just like I love Lorenzo Cain.
Yeah.
Whit Merrifield, I have super high ranked. I think he's a stud. Jose Ramirez a beast. Brantley's a beast. Xander Bogaerts, Tommy Pham, great. Nick Marquez is great. So yeah, he's got a very well balanced team.
Well, except there's no power.
Let's see here. So the best power guy he's got is basically Ramirez.
It's Ramirez.
Yeah. Okay. So that's where he's falling off. So he's basically just hoping to just single his way in.
Well, and he's got a ton of speed with Smith and Merrifield, so it's a very viable strategy.
Absolutely.
I'm just concerned it's going to come up and like Brantley's going to single, and Bogaerts is going to single.
I guess as long as you have any of those guys on second, they're probably
Brantley's
scoring.
Fast enough. Yeah, it's just I wonder how often I think there's going to be games where he struggles to score runs because they just like you spray a bunch of singles.
I wonder if Tommy Pham should have switched over into the 4-hole instead of Brantley having the first 4 guys all speed 9 or speed A.
It wouldn't be terrible. You might be wanting a speed A in front of Markakis.
Maybe, but Tommy Pham's got more pop than Brantley, and that'd be where your power
on earlier than him or Bogaerts too.
But let's just say his first 3 guys get on base. Tommy Pham has a 17 triple. He could clear the bases.
Yeah. So
if you're listening, Covington Crush, don't do what I did with my lineup. Listen to Peter and new Bob.
Yeah.
I like
and then
this team too.
Mondesi, I think, is on.
Oh, dude,
Wait, he's there. He's the 9 hitter.
he's going to be another upgrade
23
guy.
with the. Yeah.
He's
Well,
a stud this year.
well, what's his on base?
Not good. I think he's striking out a lot, but he's leading the league in triples.
Yes, I mean, like,
What is he right now?
okay, 315. So he might end up. He's
He could
closing.
get a 7.
Yeah, that would be huge.
Could you get
if he's an on base 7, he's gonna have a monster chart.
Oh yeah, I think he's leading the league in triples. Like I think he has
with 6.
Yeah, he's got
So.
six right now.
Okay, so if he gets to 18, oh my God, he could end up with like 4 triples on his chart.
Yeah, he could be an interesting card. All right,
Ooh,
so
that'll be cool.
So let's go to the Cobra Chickens, which
I really like the Crush. Crush are
good.
definite competitors.
I think the Cobra Chickens, in my opinion, have the best logo. Which I absolutely love. He's the one.
Our buddy Kyle.
Is that who it is? It's your buddy?
Yeah.
Oh no, it's Kyle from the website.
Kyle from the blog.
From the
our
blog.
Buddy Kyle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so that
both our friend Kyle.
Okay, I was like, I know that your other friend Kyle too. So Cobra Chickens, I love his picture. He's the one that drafted Jacob deGrom overall first. I disagree with that pick, but I don't. If that's since you're the first pick and you're not picking again till 20, or you're not picking until 20. I get it. Like you just want the best guy.
In.
Yeah.
He's great start to the rotation.
Yep.
Then Arrieta and Turan are both control 4, 1 to 15 out guys.
Yeah. So he's average at the 3-4, or it's 2-3.
2-3, and then bad number 4 starter.
Okay.
Then he went interesting. He went with the long relief pitchers.
Oh, this is so strange looking. So this will be a good strategy to see how this works in our league. Because these guys are, like the 3 control, which I don't like, but yeah, the 4-1. So he's a 3. He's a 2-1. See, I just don't like 2 control guys. I don't care how long they go.
Yeah, basically, you almost have to be like Arrieta pitches 1 to 5, or no, because he's better than Yarbrough. So you'd want him to go 1 to 6, and then Yarbrough to pitch like 7, 8, 9, or Velez. Yeah, so. It's a risky strategy. I like Greg Holland for 20 points.
For 20 points, no single. Like that's crazy. That's a great pick.
And then I think Matt Moore and Bartolo Colon are both 10-point starters.
I know Bartolo's a 10.
They have like IP2s.
Yeah.
It's just there's no like good reliever.
No,
like a shutdown guy for the 9th. So I think he's going to have some frustrating late inning situations.
Yeah, we'll have to see how that plays out. Now he grabbed Lindor, which I absolutely love. Monster stud.
I think it's going to be a really fun lineup to watch.
This is fun. I mean, obviously I like Aaron Judge.
Bust.
Oh, he got Javi Baez. That's a stud.
And Crush.
I love that they use the crushed promo that I made.
Yep. Travis Shaw is a stud.
And did anybody draft Gallo? Because I was hoping that. Did someone draft Gallo?
Yeah.
Okay, so Chris Davis is like basically Gallo, except for a lot better. But it's just fun to see a 13 homer guy at like an on base 7. So I think that's great.
And Matt Olson's got a lot of power.
Yeah. I mean, Shaw's another 16 home run guy.
Yep.
Matt Olson's got the +2 first base. 16 home run guy.
I pity the low control pitcher who has to face this lineup.
Yeah, he's going to take advantage of
bottom of rotations.
And he also went huge. If I'm looking at this right,
he has the best defense in the league.
He has an 8 outfield.
Yes.
So he's the guy trying to throw people out at home.
He's got an 8 outfield. His infield is +3 third,
10,
+5
11,
short, +4
14?
second.
Am I getting that right? Whew.
Yeah, 4. So it's the best. He has the best infield and best outfield.
You know what he's missing though? Not really. Well, it'd be interesting if he got rid of one of these relievers and picked up an A-speed guy, because Javi Baez has so much flexibility. He could like pinch run for somebody.
Like Shaw.
Yeah, and then
Crush,
So say Shaw's on second, he could pinch run and then slide Baez over to third and not hurt his lineup. Either way, this actually looks like you said, a really fun team. This guy's gonna have some fun. Kyle, making his team. Next up, we have
I think in week 1 the matchup is the best defense in the league with the 14 infield and 8 outfield versus my defense, which is +4 infield, +3 outfield.
And you went 2-1, right, against him first week. So what was cool about this, and you guys will probably notice after, and Nobody went 3-0 first week, which I thought was excellent to find out.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
that's
it's
how
gonna be
well
a
it was
super
drafted.
balanced league. I mean, it's all about how many series can you win.
Yep.
So you just got to string those together and hope for the best.
Next up, we have the Bay Ridge Blasters. They don't have a logo yet, and they have a lot of people that I don't have picks for. But he's got Kluber. He took Kluber really early, which we think is a little too far. So he went 5-1 through 16 out, 4-1 through 16 out, 4-1 through 16 out, which is really good.
Really good rotation. I think Castillo gives up a homer.
Okay.
Leclerc is really good. He's a 4-1 to 18 out.
That's this reliever.
Yeah, I think his bullpen is stacked.
I know Will Smith is from the Giants.
Yeah. I think Stram's really good too.
Man, this is like the team that this if anybody doesn't have any pictures, it's this team. So sorry for everyone listening or watching from home that you don't have pictures, but he's the one that has Lorenzo Cain, which
who apparently had a really rough first game.
I would have Lorenzo Cain leading off personally. Robinson after him.
Yeah.
Joey Votto's a 10 that can't hit a home run.
No homers. Same with Jesse Winker. I think this is the team that even more so struggles with guys with good on bases that
no one can hit home runs. Look at Fletcher can't, Matt Duffy can't. So he's going the idea that I'm gonna
small ball.
Yeah, small ball. Okay, so we'll see how that works out.
I think it's gonna kill him.
Yeah,
because he doesn't have speed either outside of Kane.
All right, so we'll see how that one plays out. The Aurora Anteaters. Is this the team that picked up late also?
Yeah, this is Matt's cousin's team.
Okay, so I was hoping that someone was going to grab Shohei Ohtani. I was super pumped to have him. And so I wanted him. I couldn't afford him, but I really wanted him. Control 2, 1 through 17 out with no doubles is great. Corbin's fine. Tanaka.
I think Corbin's a stud.
Yeah. Well, this is your guy, 1 through 16 out.
Yeah. Tanaka's good.
Tanaka's good. Duffy's whatever. Now, so he's got Hader. So I wonder if he's going to go...
Hader, Petit, and Ozuna.
I wonder if Hader goes like relief for Ohtani and Duffy, which is great. Yeah. And then Petit 1 through 17 out. That's pretty
Ozuna's
good.
Amazing.
Oh yeah. Yeah, 1 through 18 out. Whew. Yeah. That's rough to deal with.
Yeah.
A 4-1 through 18 outs are really that's like better than Johnson coming in for an inning.
It's DeGrom, but a double instead of a single.
Yeah. Wow, I forget about it.
And Vizcaino's like a serviceable fourth guy. Like control 4.
Yeah.
So I really like. I think he probably has the second best bullpen. I still like that combo of Trinian and Diaz the most. Yeah. But Hader is a beast. Ozuna is a beast. Petit is really good.
I want to see Hader's numbers at the end, just because the 1 through 19 out is crazy. That actually, what's interesting is he's at such high outage on his top 3 guys here. 1 through 19 out, 1 through 17 out, and 1 through 18 out. Like that's ridiculous.
If he's not giving up charts, you're screwed.
Yeah. Then Wendell, I think, is great. A great pick. I really like Joey Wendell a lot for under 300 points.
He's welcome for Paul Goldschmidt.
He's got Paul Goldschmidt. He grabbed after you got rid of him, which I still like him. I like him in the purple. I love Ohtani as another 8 through 1 through 16 out guy or 16 home run guy.
Yep. Pennant run Puig's a beast.
Puig is good. Another 16 home run guy, even though I know...
I just upped his on base because he went from Dodger Stadium to Cincinnati. Not the most scientific pennant run card.
So, and Puig...
And he ends up being an absolute stud.
He is going to... I think he's right now a 4 on base.
He's terrible in real life.
Yeah. I have him on my team. I think he's hurt. He's not doing well. Gleyber Torres is going to get an upgrade next year. He got... He should have got... I thought... Well, actually, I don't think he should have got Rookie of the Year, but he's crushing it right now. Another 8,
really good.
1 through 17 home run guy. Oh, so he's got Joey Gallo. Joey Gallo is right now a 10. Just letting you know, everyone listening, Joey Gallo is a 10 on base right now and crushing the ball.
He's got Salvi with the awesome arm.
Yeah, so he went to plus 10 arm. Huge power if he could ever get the advantage. Alamara, Zach Kosar, Alberto Perez on the bench, Cody Allen giving up home runs. Cody Allen, I'm glad the Indians got rid of him because he's giving up home runs for the Angels as well. And then Acuna Matata made his name because so it was something first, then he got Acuna, so he made his team Acuna Matata. So he went Chris Sale, beast. Absolute stud as a 5 1 through 17 out. Yeah. Zach Wheeler's...
he's Pedro.
Yeah.
With 1 less IP.
Zach Wheeler's good. Mike Fears is not good. I don't like him, but...
He's exactly. Like you get a tier 3, but you give up a home run.
But
it's homer rather than a double.
I just
or like
don't
150 points off or whatnot.
So what he did here scares me though, because he went homer guys. Like,
Yeah.
I'm okay with getting one guy. So if he just got Mike Fears, I'd be like, okay, you saved under 300 points. You got a 1 through 15 out guy. 5% chance you're going to give a home run, but that's not going to happen all the time. But he did it twice. Now,
I
Glasnow
heard from
has an
I heard
upgrade.
from Matt that he picked Glass now in the hopes that he was getting a pennant run card because he started this year really hot.
He's going to get a good 2019 card. That's
Yes.
for sure.
And so that's unfortunate to report back. And if you're listening, Akuna Matata, he's not getting an awesome pennant run card right now.
No, yeah. He'll get a
But he'll have a really good card for year 2.
Yes.
Unfortunately, I don't think he was drafted in the first 10 rounds. So under Matt's rules, I don't think he gets to upgrade him.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Well, we'll figure all
hopefully
that
he
out.
survives in the number 4.
Oh my god!
I mean,
and he got Kenny Jensen, who also gives up a home run.
Okay,
There's a lot of home runs on his team.
Yeah, give up a lot of home runs, but I think.
Ottavino's so good. Chapman's really good.
Ottavino's so good. Chapman's really good.
Yeah, those
Kyle
are good.
Barraclaw is good as well.
Okay.
Jansen is really good value.
So wait, what was the rule in the starter? Because you grabbed the 5th starter.
So and a couple guys did this. He's a reliever, and he gets to be an IP2.
Oh, okay. So I don't like this either, though, because he went 2 more guys that give up home runs.
Yeah. So a lot of
scary.
A lot of power.
But these are his bench players right here, realistically. Yeah. So let's go back to his. Let's go to his lineup because maybe we can save grace here because it looks pretty studly. He's got Acuna, which I think is like, if he's on a first rounder, he's just on the second round. That's what happened in this pick. Matt Carpenter's a beast. Yep. Nemo is a beast. Zobrist, another beast. Slow, but I like him.
I was surprised he has Zobrist in the 4 instead of Donaldson.
Well, he needs. I don't know if this is his lineup or he needs to fix it because there's no way Zobrist not hitting a home run should be there, in my opinion. They should just flip flop him because Donaldson should be batting 4th and he should be batting 6th.
Maybe he likes having single at 9 versus single at 12, but that. I don't know.
Man,
I don't get it. I would flip them
and then
as well.
Maldonado, obviously catching, great job there, picking up the big guy. So
he did it. Sort of a strategy and team construction very similar to my own, but he gives up a lot more home runs than my team does.
Yep.
And I like my lineup slightly more.
Yeah. So I will. Let's see here. I'm going to go. So you like Fierce Hustle number 1, SoCal number 2. Do you like SoCal over your team?
Yeah, I'd put me 3.
Okay.
And then I'd probably do...
I'm just doing a quick look. Because I really like SoCal's team a lot. I just wonder if Fierce spent too much on pitching.
It's Fires. Like Mike Fires.
Fires. I keep saying...
It's a fire fest.
He should have grabbed Fires, and then it could have been easier.
Yeah. Unfortunately, he ended up just grabbing a bunch of aces.
See, I think SoCal's lineup lacks where Fires has at least the 11-10 and some powerful 8. Who was the guy with the... I actually like Dat Boy X is kind of a lot.
Yeah, he's got a lot of pop.
Man. I like you.
You can pick me if you want.
I know.
Bob.
I kind of want to pick you just because I think if you don't win this year, you're gonna win next year. I think I would probably rank you 1, Fires 2, Dat Boy X 3, and then I think SoCal 4. I think SoCal's a good team, but I just think he lacks a little bit on the batting, where Dat Boy X has a decent rotation as 6-6-4-4, and then going into the reliever, he's got 6-6-5. And then his lineup goes 10-10-9, monster power 8s, and then 8, and then he just drops off the last 2 guys. I think Dat Boy X has a good chance of being like the number 2 person in the whole league, just has so much pop. So I put my team I'd put my team ahead of the guy with all the home runs. Was that Akuna Matata? Yeah. But I don't think I put my team much higher because my team is a little rough. With the 2 relievers that are rough. I think if I can find a way to downgrade someone and upgrade that, I think, like you said, I think I have one of the most stacked lineups.
Yeah, I think your 1 through 4 is the best in the business.
Yeah, so maybe I just gotta tell Matt to fix my lineup and put Cervelli leading off, and I'll fix it off. So
then I think you might have the best 1 through 5.
Yeah, so I'll probably make some moves, but that is basically the breakdown of the 2018 draft that Matt is running online. Stay tuned to the blog to see it. I think Kyle might be running a secondary draft for people that couldn't get in on this. That's also on the blog, I believe, and it was asking people on Facebook.
Yeah, you kind of get to put your own team together.
Yeah, which I think is great. I mean, I don't have time right now to play all these games, so I'm glad that Matt is taking the time to do this. But I love drafting and I like managing. So the idea of like Peter's doing here is like, I need to get rid of this guy and upgrade to this guy or move people around. Me tinkering with my lineup is me being a manager, but the players play themselves. I mean, it's just the dice gods playing. So I'm actually okay with that. So that being said, that's the podcast for today. We went a little bit over an hour. Hopefully you listened to the whole thing. Peter, what's your closing remarks?
Really hoping my team wins 2 out of 3 as much as it can.
Yes, right. So Peter's looking for a playoff run. I'm looking to finish above 500. And that's the episode of Bourbon Over Baseball.